Hi, I'm Michelle Harris.
And I'm Gary Harris.
And we are Team Harris for Real Estate with 525 Realty Group. And today we want to talk to you about using an agent you can reach and not just one that works 8 to 5.
We work as a team for you as the client.
You can reach us after hours and over the weekend. Why? Because real estate doesn't work just Monday through Friday from 8 to 5.
You know, real estate does not have office hours. So.
We want to go over how we work as a team. Gary, what is one of the first things that you do for our buyer clients?
Well, first thing I do is I find out from the client, the buyer, what they are looking for in a house. And I will set them up on a property search, even in a given area. Find out, the bedroom square footage, cost, school district, year built, whatever information criteria they are wanting, I will set it up that way. Even pinpoint right down the block or two they want, which kind of makes it a little bit harder to find, but it can be done. Basically, it's just anything that they're looking for and they want. Pool, no pools. That's how I will set it up and look for a property for them. Then I'll send it to them. Okay,
so once you establish the search and they start liking some properties and they start notifying you that they want to see homes, how many properties do you show to our buyer clients on a given day?
I like to show 5 properties. I will show 7. And the reason being is that after 5 properties, even if you have 2 or 3 people with you taking notes, taking pictures, videos, they start to run together. Now at 7, they will run together. It's not bad, but there are agents, and I've done it myself, that will show more than 7. We'll show 10 or 12 properties in a day because somebody's from out of state. But when they're looking, they better be saying, I don't want this property. Discard it, discard it, discard it. Because if they start thinking about them, then, like I said, anything over 5 to 7, they get jumbled up.
Okay, so it sounds like 7 really needs to be the max. No matter how good your notes are, things are going to start to get confusing, right?
Correct, yes. Anything over 7, it's going to be confusing. Okay. No matter how smart you are or you think you are.
So then they find the one property that they want to put an offer in for, and that's where I come in. So I handle writing up the contracts. Now, I am a licensed real estate agent, but I handle more of the administrative end for our team. So I kind of handle the paperwork. So I write up the contracts for our buyers. So we get the information from them as far as the details for the contract. So the price that they want to submit the offer for, earnest money, financing, or are they paying cash, that type of information. So I write up the contract, I send it over there for, when I say over there, to the buyers for them to review. So they review it, make sure everything is exactly how they want it to be, make any changes as necessary. Then once they sign it, I send it over to the listing agent. So the listing agent presents it to the seller. And then hopefully we are all under contract. So, which is really great. That's what you want. At that point, then I start coordinating things with the lender if they're financing, the title company, the listing agent, the listing agent's assistant, if there is one, and anybody else along the way that I need to coordinate things with. And then once we're under contract, then Gary, what do you do next for our clients?
I take over and I set up inspections, which will entail negotiating repairs. The inspections will be anything from termite inspection, which lenders require, and home inspection, which is not required but is strongly advised. I don't care if it's new construction or the house is 100 years old. You need to have it professionally inspected.
Yes. And why is that on new construction? Since it's new construction.
On new construction, it's like buying a new car. You buy that new car, you get home, you start driving it, and there's dings, there's things popping, things don't work right. Same thing with a new house. It's built by humans. And sometimes we've even seen the home inspector show us things that, like an air duct, there was sheetrock behind the intake so the air could not circulate. They forgot to cut the hole out, but yet they put the vent over it.
So it's human error, and because there are humans that are building the house, so it could just be human error. It's not like they're not doing good quality work. It's just that, you know, sometimes people just make mistakes.
It just happens.
It just happens. So it's always good to have a home inspection, even on new construction, right?
You're right. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, if you're using a lender and the house, even in city limits, there's houses that are on well water. You have to have that inspected. They're going to require that.
Yes, they will require that documentation that the well water is safe to drink. And so that requires sending a sample off to the lab. If not, if the well water is not safe, then it's easy to treat. It's not a big deal, but they do require that documentation.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And so then our goal is to make, of course, our client, the buyer, happy. But we don't want to bust the deal. We want the seller to come out on the win-win situation also.
Yes.
We want to be fair, and we tell when we're on the buying side, we want our buyer to be fair. And because we're looking for those little magical words, clear to close, on closing day. That makes everybody happy.
Yes.
And, you know, the seller wants to sell a house, the buyer wants to buy. And it's not about us, it's about really both of them, but especially since we have the buyer usually, it's about our buyer.
Which is so true. You do want to have a win-win for both sides. The seller wants to make sure that they're selling their house at a great deal, and the buyer wants to make sure they're buying a house at a great deal. So yes, win-win is definitely the goal, and getting to that clear to close from a lender if they're financing.
Right.
So if you guys have any questions regarding real estate, we want to hear from you. So just leave your comments down below in that little area, and we thank you in advance. We look forward to hearing your comments and your feedback. We also invite you to check out teamhouseforrealestate.com. You do not have to register or create an account to have up-to-date property information. It is pulled in from the MLS, so unlike other property search websites, and you know which ones I'm talking about, they are not always up to date. Sometimes their information is just flat wrong. So we invite you to check out teamharrisforrealestate.com.
Our information is always right.
True. So if you see a property that you like on our website, you can just scroll down to the bottom and click on that you want to set up a showing, and we will get that information. The link to our website will be included in the comments below. Then you can also find us
on Facebook,
Instagram,
Twitter,
and LinkedIn. We thank you, and come be our client.
Come be our client.